no one expected this, I know, but people reacted differently to it, but generally it's very erratic for a lot of people in terms of how in terms of emotions. People may feel like this for a moment, maybe another in the next moment in a day. So it's something that that every individual has to cope with. But thankfully, for pandemics, we in our area of work, we would be able to fix our focus. We'll be able to focus our work, our attention on, the more needy, those who are more in need, so-called in dire strait, in dire condition. So I think when you look at others where there is need, you somehow naturally, as far as I can say, within our sector, we are very blessed to say that we are able to help others. So somehow pandemic situation had actually put us to the core that we're still able, even though we have not been enjoying the normal. But the thing is, we have been more fortunate, and that we are, no matter what it is, there is always someone who is needing help, that you can actually go that, as we say, we can go the extra mile to do that. And it is not something that we now know. Pandemic means we shouldn't all the more be self-centered, self-looking, inward-looking, but rather this pandemic has taught us in this work to be even more outward-looking and toward it's more the community, right? We see more community. Somehow we work in the community services. Now it becomes so real for the pandemic. It is even more urgent that we look at community rather than self. And it's not going to get us anywhere if we look at self. That's what we learned from this pandemic. Yeah. Not prepared and prepared. I don't know if that would describe us, because all this work that we've been doing, it's somehow we thank God for that, because it seemed that a lot of work had been done ahead, so that we are ready for this. So, like, for example, a lot of these teams that have been set up, the home personal care team. We didn't set up home personal care team at the start because, now that we need it, right? Now that we need the home personal care team to go into the houses. It's not like when we have pandemic, we are faced with this situation, we set up suddenly overnight a home personal care team with nurses and healthcare assistants and therapy assistants. So both sides, the therapy assistants at the therapy center, the rehab center, as well as our center, we will have all this ready, so to say, to go into the houses to do all this individual care plan. Now we are not ready in the sense that now suddenly we have to reduce the capacity to half, maybe. Our capacity now will have to, when we resume next Monday, we will have a resumption of service all over our 3 centers. So all 3 centers will resume already by next Monday. So, but having said that, we are not going back to the normal because our capacity can never go back to the normal for now and for a while, because of the safe distancing, of the precaution that we have to take. That is given out by the authorities, right? So we have already restructured all that physically. Also, now that we are all in, as we speak, we are still working on it. Tomorrow is still another day before we start opening on Monday. So let's just say that we already started a month ago when we entered into phase 1. We had only 5 residents who come in for 1 hour session, and then we switch. We have 4 of those sessions. So each time you see only a big hall, there are only 5 elderly sitting inside, versus 80 of them coming in at the same time. So have we prepared for that? Well, I think we are more than prepared with that, because we have a room size of 80. Suddenly we only need 5 of them. So, and then where are the rest? The rest are at home, and we are attending to them via the HPC team and other services as well. So so having said that, we also have the van to go and fetch the Meals on Wheel, without which we will have to engage their services, and their services we tried, and the meals came like very late. Elderly were just waiting, or at 12 o'clock they are ringing us, 1 o'clock still not come yet, where are the food, lunch not here yet. Then we scramble. So we took our van, we asked our van go and pick up the lunches and even the dinners, so they won't go on to wait, because this is nationwide. The Meals on Wheels is nationwide, and our van intervention there to get the meals in on time for them. So in other words, having said here and there, we had actually done this work, or these things are already there, and so that when pandemic sets in, we are more or less sort of reacting to it. Rather, we are reacting to it very, very systematically. That's right. I think it's beginning April. Am I speaking too fast? No, I'm okay. So beginning April, when the circuit breaker kicked in, activity stopped at drop-in center. So with the other parts of the services as well. So what you are right. It's not really the open space. It is partly correct, because we have the exercises outside as well as indoor. So all of which we had to defer the services now. So we suspended the services. But what went on was really we went into home personal care, which means our healthcare workers, and also as well as the nursing aides and our nurses went to the houses, went to the specific elderly where they need attention, and this is the daily routine, and plus on top of that, we also provide meals on wheel, so therefore they get their lunches and dinners every day. Every day in a week, that means 7 days a week, until, well, we're still doing that as we speak. It will end of June, which means in a few days' time it will end for that Meals on Wheels services. So you're right. Well, we are attending to psychosocial needs of the clients, of the elderlies, those who are very cooked up during the circuit breakers, those who are in need for exercises, rehabs, those who need our nurses to measure their medical conditions. So we are still attending to all those residents or even the seniors whom we have been attending all this while. So that services have never stopped, in fact. The ones that are not attended to within the home personal care program are those who you just said very much more able, but they are at home. Some of them are alone, and what we have set up at the onset of circuit breaker, we had our care team as well to be assigned to those who are lonely, who are alone at home, not frail, but alone, but able. We know them because within this community of 13 HDB blocks, as you know, we are also handling 4 more blocks in Old Airport Road. So that's total up to 17 blocks. So we have all the bio data, all the data are kept within our database as well. What their profiles are. So they are all our friends. It's not PDPA because we are all given the permission by MOH to do this. So for those whom we know, we assign them to our so-called telecontact team. Telecontact meaning they phone them lah. They use the phone to call them twice a day, and they call them twice a day to check whether they are basically to check whether their PPs are okay, their eatings are okay, they're doing exercises, they're talking over the phones most of the time just to keep them actively updating us. So, and also reminding them not during the circuit breakers not to venture outside lah, and to stay home as much as they can. I mean, a lot of the staff they will just go the extra mile, just to make sure that it is not just calling for the sake of asking or something like that, but it is that the doing it from the heart, and every one of the staff, every one of the care team would be very concerned about how they would react to their conversation. Let's say you're talking about during circuit breaker, where we don't see each other, we don't see each other like that. So we don't see each other like this. You can imagine when you talk to them, it's just voice. And I think from the expression from the sound of it on the phone, many of us, we get an update. Actually, we talk to each other as a team call like that every day. We talk like that. So how is Mr. Low? Is he okay? No, I can't find him. We've been calling him whole day and he's not been picking up phone. So we'll be talking like this in the team, and then we'll be calling each other even at night. We'll still be calling this person who's not been picking up. So if we cannot still pick up, say for example, we will call because there's someone in our center, our nurses. We will call in the nurse and say, "Nurse, can you go and check this so-called ABC? Auntie ABC." Okay, so the nurse will run there and make sure that she knocks on the door and maybe okay. Then she report back and say, "Oh, she's there. She's just watering the plant outside, or whatever, standing outside." Some of them cannot hear the phone ringing so much, right? So they're hearing problems, and so what is it that we want to get them out? It's just basically to know that they are well. Sometimes what they are thinking as well. Sometimes they will share with you about during the circuit breaker time. They probably share more things like the misery of their family, their history. So a lot of things that we took advantage of. I think during the circuit breaker, to be honest, a lot of our staff shared that they benefited a lot, because during the good time, during the normal time, when the elderly comes in to the center, or when they meet each other, they wouldn't talk to each other so much and so intimately. They never, because it's until when they don't see each other so much, right? I mean, if you don't talk to your boyfriend so long and suddenly you talk to each other, right? A lot of you don't talk to each other so long. Suddenly you talk to each other, it becomes like you cannot see each other. Then you talk more and you get to know more. And a lot of times that we appreciated this circuit breaker. I don't know whether that's the best way to say it, but it helped. Something came out good from it. This circuit breaker. Yeah. Well, I don't dare to say that we have anything to advise our future in Dunman High School, because a lot of you had many good initiatives in your school. I believe all you have ideas, and what we can only share with you is over time, one of the lessons, and that is really useful for us with the work that we do, is to go that extra mile. And everything that we went through that extra mile without looking at ourselves, we saw that even with the result that we get, we may not see the maximum the maximum effect of giving so much, but I'm sure we are already getting appreciation from our family members, the beneficiaries of family or beneficiaries within the services. So I think this is something that though MOH are supporting us with so much, they themselves are going quite a long way to help us, as well as hospitals. We are getting a lot of help from medical sectors, but just as many are from the donors and sponsors as well. So we are very thankful, and the only encouragement to all who are thinking of just trying to see how to help, I would have only one word to say lah. Just be bold to step out lah. You will never regret what you were going to do. And many people will just benefit, many will benefit from your boldness to step out to help.